What's up everyone, this is FP Sticks bringing you some more Timeless Cup practice videos. In this video I'm going to be trolling along with TENTACRUEL and seeing if I can pick up some wins using this goofy looking Pokemon here. You can see the first matches are up against my friend Fonz17. We got our teams up on the screen there. Now, surprisingly, TENTACRUEL has a decent amount of positive matchups against his team. I feel comfortable leaving it in against Meganium for sure, Lapras, Kingdra, and honestly even Dragonair I'm okay with kind of leaving it in there. I'm using it in the lead spot right here and just committing to a bunch of acid sprays. I commit both my shields there against the Meganium. The Frenzy Plant from Meganium would be hitting me for neutral damage, so it would do a lot of damage still, and that Earthquake would absolutely wreck me. But I'm just going to see how many Pokemon I can Acid Spray with this TENTACRUEL. In comes the Lapras. This is most likely going to be a Surf. I don't think he got to enough energy for a Skull Bash. So TENTACRUEL still just sitting there. My Poison Jab damage is adding up a lot. I get to a second Acid Spray. Just going for the defense block. He blocks that one. I get a shield off of him from an Acid Spray, which is amazing. He switches in his Dragonair, and I'm almost able to get off another Acid Spray, which would be absolutely insane. So TENTACRUEL did a lot of work there, but pretty much just Acid Sprayed everything, and now I'm at a significant shield disadvantage. If this is Dragon Pulse, Kingdra is done. See you later, Kingdra. Got no shields, and it takes forever to get to a charge move with Kingdra. But now my Meganium might be able to just totally fast move farm down this Dragonair. This is only an Aqua Tail, thank goodness. And now Meganium has a lot of energy banked up. He's got his Lapras. I'm going to be able to get to 2 Frenzy Plants here, and I'm going to be able to take out this first match. Using TENTACRUEL is always just, it's so goofy feeling for me. A lot of people run TENTACRUEL within this Timeless Cup with Sludge Wave and Acid Spray, but I'm going for Hydro Pump just as a possible nuke move. If you ever get paired up against like a Venomoth or something and you're afraid that you'll have nothing that will threaten the Venomoth, Hydro Pump is nice to have. But I'm pretty much just using TENTACRUEL in this video to see what I can do with it, see how many Pokemon I can Acid Spray in my path. We got a Meganium mirror match here. The way you should play this out is just straight up Frenzy Plant. I'm trying to QSA here, but he ends up switching out into his Ninetales, so I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake. This is going to do a lot of damage if it lands, and then I'm most likely going to switch out. I do not switch into TENTACRUEL because Ninetales is pretty brutal with its Psyshock damage. That would be hitting TENTACRUEL for super effective damage there. And so I do not want any part of that. Kingdra is going to double resist Fire Spin, as well as Overheat or Flamethrower, whatever it's running. He goes for the Overheat there, and even though Overheat is an amazing move, since it's double resisted, I feel like Psyshock might have been the correct play there, because he might have been able to get to 2. I'm hoping I can get to an Octazooka, but I cannot. Kingdra just takes forever to get to those charge moves. Which normally Kingdra is not on my line of 6, but I pretty much constructed this team solely around TENTACRUEL just to see what I could do. I get hit by a Dragon Pulse there, oh my goodness, and I still had 2 shields and I didn't shield that, so that feels absolutely horrible. But I'm going to Acid Spray this Meganium and hopefully get to another Acid Spray. But I actually switched in my own Meganium now because now this mirror match has flipped in my favor because his defense is lowered. So again, go straight for the Frenzy Plant because both Frenzy Plant and Earthquake is going to be resisted, and Frenzy Plant is definitely the more energy efficient move. Those Community Day charge moves are all insane. I was able to sneak in another Vine Whip in between those Frenzy Plants, which is really great. I commit my shield there. And let's see how much a Frenzy Plant is going to do with a defense-dropped Meganium. Meganium's very tanky, but boom, Frenzy Plant's able to take it out. So, way to go, TENTACRUEL. Even though you're a goofy-looking squid octopus thing, you did something. So I'm going to try to bring it in again. It's kind of fun to bring in as a lead, especially if they don't have a confusion user, but I do need to watch out for that Whiscash. That would be horrible. Against Meganium, it's an okay matchup. Not super great. Even though my poison jabs are hitting super effective, Meganium's going to be able to get to those frenzy plants very quickly. I end up acid spraying this Dragonair, totally fine by me, and I forced him to switch out. So I'm still staying in this match. We encounter a little bit of lag. I'm trying to get to a second acid spray, and I am able to get to it. So this Dragonair has now had its defense doubly dropped. Still staying in because this is going to force him to throw a charge move here. And at this point, I'm satisfied with what Tentacruel has done. So I don't even shield that, but it ended up being a bait, and so Tentacruel is still around and kicking. Absolutely insane. Now the Meganium, I was not able to get the acid spray off before it switched out, so I commit a shield and get to this acid spray. This is the third acid spray I will have landed this game. Absolutely insane, probably really annoying. And because that Meganium's defense was lowered, I brought in my Dragonair to try to fast move it down. He switches into his Ninetales. This is still an amazing matchup for me. These Aqua Tails are going to be hitting super effective. I resist the Fire Spin. I resist the Overheat. The only thing I don't resist is Ninetales' coverage move of Psyshock, but even that is only going to be neutral damage. I get both the shields gone there. I know I'm going to be able to get to another Aqua Tail. I let this go through because I knew a Psyshock wouldn't KO me, and I don't think an Overheat would have KO'd me either, even though Overheat's a very strong move. And if you're running a Ninetales, I suggest that you, if you do not have the Legacy Flamethrower, switch to Overheat. Maybe even if you do have the Legacy Flamethrower, I don't know. I'm hanging on to my Legacy Ninetales and not changing the move, mainly because I don't have TMs, but also you never know with Niantic. They might crazy buff Flamethrower next, and now Legacy Ninetales is going to be crazy OP or something. Who knows? But I end up taking that match. Pretty hilarious. Tentacruel is actually doing some work here. I'm definitely not going to run it for any tournaments, but I like to bring in some ridiculously off-meta teams sometimes, or some off-meta picks, just so you guys can see how it performs. And in tomorrow's video, I have a ridiculously off-meta team that I constructed purely just to see if I can win any matches with it. It's kind of fun. You'll notice I have been putting out Timeless Cup videos still, even though it's getting late in the month. My big weighted tournament, the mega tournament that's going to happen in Colorado, isn't until January 5th, so very late in the time frame that the Timeless Cup is running. So I'm still going to be pumping out some Timeless Cup videos. Probably within a week or so, I'll switch over to making some Fusion Cup videos. But again, I have not done my weighted Timeless Cup tournament yet, so I'm practicing as much as possible to try to get prepared for that. Going straight for the Dragon Pulse here. It does not land on the Lapras, which is not good at all. The Lapras could try to commit to Ice Sharding me down there, but I most likely would be able to get to a Dragon Pulse. I just let it go through, even though I was very close. I still have Tentacruel, which is definitely a good answer to Lapras. I do need to watch out for the Skull Bash, and I know that he's farmed up a little bit of energy. He farmed up even more energy. In comes the Whiscash. I knew it was going to come in, and that is a matchup you do not want to be in at all. So I switch in my Kingdra. Maybe I'll finally get a charge move off on my Kingdra. That ended up being a Blizzard. Thank goodness I shielded that. Blizzard would only be neutral on Kingdra because of its water and dragon typing, but still, Kingdra, not very tanky, and Blizzard's a very heavy-hitting move. I get the attack debuff with Octazooka, which is awesome. So now these Mud Bombs are really not doing that much damage. I'm wondering if I can Dragon Breath down this Whiscash and then throw either an Outrage or an Octazooka on what's ever in the back. I know I can even survive one more Mud Bomb, but he's not able to get to that. I go straight for the Outrage here because Octazooka would be double resisted, so or single resisted, sorry, because of Lapras's water typing. And I'm able to take that match. Tentacruel didn't do too much in that match other than dodge around Whiscash because I did not want to stay in that matchup. Let's see if I can get another win. Tentacruel in the lead. We'll see how it does. All I got to do is avoid that Whiscash. Oh, there it is. Definitely got to get out of there. So Meganium's going to be the best choice here. Grass is double super effective. He brings in his Ninetales. Now, this is obviously not a good matchup for me, but if I can bait this Frenzy Plant and land an Earthquake, I can flip this match in my favor. I do get the bait. Gonna go straight for the Earthquake. I'm gonna commit a shield here because if this is an overheat, it's definitely gonna one-shot me. I'm hoping he does not shield this, but if he does, I'm at least gonna come out of it with a shield advantage. He shields it, and now I'm pretty sure he can just fast move me down before I can get to another Earthquake. He definitely could have committed to a fast move farm there, but he was probably getting nervous that I was getting close to an Earthquake. I would have been able to throw the Frenzy Plant for sure. I am up a shield now, but I do need to watch out for the Psyshocks that Ninetales is going to throw at me. Not going to be good at all. It definitely won't one-shot you, but it'll do a good chunk of damage. He ends up going for the Overheat, which I think is a misplay there because I am going to resist it. Even though Overheat, again, is an insanely amazing move, I resist it, and now his attack fell. I really don't want him to get off a Psyshock here, but he is going to get it. But now it's reduced damage. So I'm going to let it go through. I'm able to survive it. Tentacruel's got a lot of work to do here. I'm very close to an Acid Spray. I get the Acid Spray on this Whiscash, which is going to be very good, and I'm immediately going to get out of there, try to Dragon Breath this thing down now the defense has been dropped. I know this isn't going to be a Blizzard, so I let it go through. He ends up bringing in Lapras, so not good for me at all. Don't think I'm going to be able to pull out this win, because these Ice Shards are chunking away. I have to shield this Surf. I am going to be able to land Dragon Pulse, but I don't think I'm going to be able to Dragon Breath down this Lapras before it's able to Ice Shard me down. And then Lapras is going to have a lot of energy banked up. My Tentacruel has very little health, and he's still got a Whiscash in the back, and we're lagging right here, so it's just an amazing scenario for me. Pretty sure even a Surf would KO me at this range. Let's see if I can tank it. Yep, Surf takes me out. So, Fonzie gets a win there after my Tentacruel trolling, just acid spraying as many things as possible. Then we got a couple matches up against 6'7" Kevin, and I get my butt handed to me. If you look at his team, Tentacruel does not have good matchups. Like, just straight up does not. It's like, it's okay against Charizard, but I'm assuming that this is an Air Slash Charizard. Horrible against Gastrodon, not good against Muck, which is the matchup you see right here because those Thunder Punches are going to be hitting super effective. And it's decent against Dugong, but man, that double Legacy Dugong is such a force to be reckoned with in this cup. You can actually see in this opening matchup, I landed the Hydro Pump, which is the only reason I was able to take this lead matchup. Pretty hilarious. But if I were to see his line of 6 and this was like a tournament or something and I was running this janky team, I would not bring in Tentacruel, but for the sake of the video, let's just see what I can do, even though Tentacruel does not have the best matchups here. He brought in his Gastrodon, but I do have the lead advantage. Obviously going to bring in Meganium here. Gastrodon is double weak to grass, just like Whiscash and Quagsire. Meganium can handle Body Slam, and it can definitely handle Earth Power. So I need to get these Frenzy Plants off on this Celio. He is up a shield, though, and Celio is so spammy that I need to watch out for the Aurora Beam. I do commit my last shield here, even though it's only a Body Slam. Very correctly played on his part. I need to get this last shield gone, or hopefully this goes through and takes out the Celio. It does not. So now he's definitely going to be able to take me out before I'm able to take him out. He goes straight for the Aurora Beam. He could have maybe even farmed up a little bit more energy there. But now I'm just hoping that this Dragon Breath and Aqua Tail is going to be enough to take out this Celio. I wait till the last possible moment to throw this to try to get it down, but look at that. It's still alive. If this is an Aurora Beam, Dragonair gets one-shotted. And of course it is. Celio was able to farm up so much energy and took me out there. So Tentacruel did a whole lot of nothing there. By some miracle, I landed the Hydro Pump, but I was still at a shield disadvantage, and let's see if I can make something work with this. I got Ninetales, Meganium, and Tentacruel. 3 fairly bulky Pokemon. Now this is a matchup you would think that I'd be able to comfortably win, because I'm resisting all of this ice damage. But man, I'm so jealous that 6'7" Kevin has a double legacy Dugong. I'm definitely on the market for one right now. I'm trying to post in as many groups and as many discords as I can to try to get me one of these, because it's just insane. I feel like double legacy Dugong is one of those Pokemon that is even better off paper, like in actual battle testing. You can just sit there and Icy Wind down your opponent all day, and even though I'm resisting all this ice damage, my attack has been dropped twice now. This is most likely going to be a 3rd attack debuff, and so I'm going to end up losing this matchup. Even though I'm up a shield, I lost the lead matchup, and he just went straight for Icy Wind. He didn't even go for the Water Pulse. So I bring in Tentacruel. I'm hoping he cannot get to an Icy Wind, but of course he can. Ice Shard is an amazing move for energy generation, and Icy Wind is a fairly inexpensive move. So now my Tentacruel has its attack debuffed. This is awful, and that Dugong did so much work. In comes Victory Bell. Gonna go for the Acid Spray, but my attack has also been dropped, so this kind of equalizes the playing field a little bit more. These Razor Leafs, even though they're only neutral damage, really hurt. Oh my goodness. Gonna go for the 2nd Acid Spray here. I still don't get a shield. I bring in my Meganium because I'm going to try to farm up now that this Victory Bell has been double dropped. I'm worried that this could be a Sludge Bomb, so I commit a shield. Big misplay on my part. It was only an Acid Spray, so dang it, I just lost my shield advantage, and now he's got Charizard. This is horrible. If this were a Venusaur instead of a Meganium, I'd have a little bit more of a fighting chance, but even though I correctly shield bait with Frenzy Plant right there, Earthquake is still going to be resisted, and definitely I'm not going to have enough gas in the tank to take out this Charizard. Not good at all, and it is an Air Slash Charizard, just like I anticipated. These Poison Jabs are only going to be neutral. The Dragon Claw would be neutral, but my attack has still been dropped. Actually, I believe I might have cleared the buff at this point because of the current mechanic that is in place. I believe if your Pokemon faints and then you click on a Pokemon to bring it in from the little selection screen, then your buffs and debuffs are cleared. But if you switch into it, then you still have your debuff. So I guess in that scenario, I would have been cleared and my attack was back to normal, but it was not going to be good. This is a losing scenario for me again. These Thunder Punches are going to be super effective. I landed the Hydro Pump on him once. Let's see if I can do a similar strat. I'm going to build up to a Hydro Pump, but this time I'm going to bait instead of going straight for the Hydro Pump. Hopefully I get a shield here. I do not get a shield, so he did not fall for it at all. Very correct play on his part. So I'm going to commit a shield here because I want to equal out our shield matchups here. I'm going to charge up almost to a Hydro Pump again and throw the Acid Spray, hoping to get a shield. Otherwise, this whole plan was for naught. I do get a shield, so we equalize our shields there, which was a big play for me. And at this point, I'm okay with letting Tentacruel go. This Muck has had its defense doubly dropped. I ran Tentacruel and then Double Dragon. We'll see if this ends up playing out. I was able to fast move down the Tentacruel. In comes the Dugong. This is horrible. I'm able to throw the Dragon Pulse before this Dugong can throw an Icy Wind. And then I switch in my Kingdra to eat this Icy Wind because it's only going to be neutral damage. I'm much more comfortable with this situation. Definitely don't go for Water Pulse here. If you're the Dugong, it'd be double resisted. In comes Charizard. My attack has been debuffed, but this Octazooka is going to hit for a lot of damage and hopefully debuff the Charizard. It does get the debuff, Look at that. It's a 50% chance with Octazooka, but I feel like it almost always goes through, at least when it gets used on me or when I use it. Like 50% never felt so lucky. Maybe it's because we're used to all the freaking 10% chances we have with Ominous Wind and Silver Wind, and I never seem to get those buffs. But I'm hoping my Dragonair can feint down this Charizard before it can get to a Dragon Claw. It can. I'm hoping this Aqua Tail is going to be enough. I don't think it is, though. It's going to be resisted, but my Dragon Breath damage was able to feint that down. So, hope you enjoyed this kind of trolly video with Tentacruel. Let me know if you've been able to make it work for you. Definitely does not work for me, but it's kind of fun to acid spray a bunch of stuff. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.